So think to yourself right now, what examples of lifting as I rise can I do in my life? And ask yourself, would you be comfortable being that person who had to let your pet go or deny a person in your family essential medical treatment or whatever it may be because the business that you have right now, you never tried that hard at? You're just like, oh, I'm okay just making a wage. As long as I make a wage. Not to put you under pressure, but you're under pressure. And not to make this hoorah, super alpha, work hard, you're a provider, but I'm going to do it. Because that's how I function and what I believe. I need to be in a situation where I can solve problems. And many problems in the modern world are solved by money unless you have an expert skill set. Someone comes to me in my family, I've got a rare form of cancer. Would it be easier for me to have money available to try and help that person or to go and retrain as an expert cancer specialist? It's a really easy bloody answer there. Super easy answer. And I know which option I would choose all the time. It puts more pressure on you having a little bit of money because you can solve people's problems and you feel required to do so sometimes. I would rather be in that situation than not. That feeling of helplessness, of failure, of destitution, whatever words you want to use. I'm spinning my vocabulary just now, right? I couldn't handle that because see me being able to sit here and talk on this camera and do my event the past couple of days and try and impact people's businesses and lives that we do through our training. Another example of lifting as you rise. Although we're able to build a business around it, how incredible is that, right? But if I had been in a situation where I was in that vets and I had to say, guys, I can't pay that. I can't pay that. And I had to watch my own dog, who I loved more than anything, and who with great love has brought such sadness, such profound sadness. If I had to turn around and say, I can't afford to do that, by the way, I would have begged, borrowed, stealed, put my back up against the wall. I'm going to find a way to make that happen, right? But let's say I had to turn around and go, I can't afford that. And even in the process of begging, borrowing and stealing, I wouldn't be in this office just now. I would not be on this podcast right now. I would be sitting in my bathroom, staring at myself in the mirror, hating myself, in disgust, because that's how I would have thought about myself. I'm not encouraging you to feel that way about yourself. No way. I would have sat and been like, you failed. Who cares about failing myself? I would have failed someone that I loved. How wrong is that? Right? So you need to start taking this money game seriously. If you're watching this right now and you're like, one of these average buy balance under £1,000 people, something needs to change. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know you personally, or maybe I do, I don't know. But I don't know you through this lens right now. I can't prescribe you something to go and fix that situation, but you need to take this money game seriously. Whether you don't need to love money, you don't need to love what you do, right? You don't need to be obsessed with what you do, but you need to get yourself into a position where you have some security, some degree of a buffer, emergency fund, so that when that thing comes around, because someday something will, you don't feel so helpless, you don't feel so useless, you don't feel so destitute. You feel, actually, this work I've put in to be in a situation where I have a spare 5, 10, 20, 100,000, I was able to go and use that for something that was worthwhile. Yeah, you can also buy a Lambo or a Rolls Royce as well, which is fun. But to be able to give that money to something that means something to you, that charity that you always wanted to support, or your church that has helped you and uplifted you for so long, or to try and save the life of someone that you cared so deeply about, there might be zero return on investment with that. There might be no financial benefit, but emotionally, mentally, you'll be able to look at yourself and not feel hatred and not feel disappointment. Look at yourself and say, actually, I've done everything I could do and I've done the right thing.